Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the seventh night of the Gauntlet 13. We are seeing NCZ face off against Oasis. We have Xbox, Dragon, Joy, and Carry as the lobby bands, and we are going straight into it with the game draft bands here. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. NCZ happened to be the most streamed team this season, I guess, out of the 5 streams we've had. NCC have been 3 of them. So this is clearly a fan favorite in the polls to be seen. And they're seeing them take out that Hilda here from Oasis. Targeting that pool of Disciple here. We have seen him play the Hilda quite a few times in the previous games. And looks like the ban for Oasis will be that Sicilian. It's pretty interesting. I'm not sure I've seen Zenkai on that Sicilian this season. It's been mostly that Valier pick, but then the Sicilian is always a solid ban, especially in the Nigerian meta. But looking here now, Zenkai banning out that Sora. Yeah. But if we're looking at it, the Freya is still open here. Maybe that's a hero that Oasis would like to take out.
Valor and royalty in a dead
but actually, it will be the Leon mod that they're taking out here. There's a couple of options for the first pick, but we see Faker on that Alice pick that he has been playing in the previous matches. Michael securing that Zuxin pick. And for the pick of user here, that's gonna be a no. It will be a Phoveus that's locked in. It's an early Phoveus pick. I'm guessing that Lancelot will be seen in the later part of the draft. Now, Phoveus is pretty reliable with that Infernal Pursuits. He does quite a bit of damage and he does sustain decently as well. Paired out with the CC that he can bring. And it looks like that's gonna be Zen locking in that Minotaur and the Gatokacha here. The carry was banned out by Oasis themselves, so that's not gonna be a hero that they can use to combat this other tanky comp. Well, marksman, I'm guessing maybe the Beatrix, Bruno. No, instead they lock that Alpha to combat the tankiness. We'd love to see how this plays out here, especially versus that Alice. But then we're moving on to this last set of bans here. And it will be YB taking out. Maybe we see a Beatrix ban? A Melissa ban? An Ixia ban? I'm not really sure which way they will go here. Nah, actually, they ban out that Claude. Is this gonna be a Leslie pick? This will be a debut pick for that hero in this series, in this season, if that's so. No, actually, it would be an Obsidia pick. And for the last 2 picks here, Zenkai actually locking in that Valier again. Very good pick versus this Alpha. Also good versus the Phoveus. And Ojiz, locking in that Clint as the final pick. Riot Disciple is taking a page from NCC's book here and locking in that Florin. Is that what we're gonna see? That might just be a Matilda.
Always on the way.
So we're getting that Matilda pick here. Okay, I like the drafts I'm seeing from both sides. There is quite a bit of dive on the side of NCZ. There's also a decent amount of damage. There's from the side of Oasiss here, they do have that additional mobility and sustain from that Matilda and Obsidia. We have seen an Obsidia get a Maniac in this series, plus all those stuns coming in from Zushin. So there's gonna be a lot of back and forth. There's gonna be a disengage and engage opportunities, but gonna be interesting to see how this one plays out. Yeah, but you guys type in the live stream who you feel is gonna come out on top in this game.
5 seconds till the enemy
Well, with
reaches
that,
the
we are
battlefield.
getting straight into
Smash
it.
them. All troops deployed.
It's like Zen's just spotting out the buff that jungler is on. Over here, Michael's just really gonna be putting a lot of pressure onto Zenkai in the early game. Take a look at this gold lane. OG is just trying his best to poke out the Tammy. Well, looks like Hadron will be leaving that bush. Right now, both teams are just sort of feeling each other out. We have the Lord spawning in 25 seconds. Looks like there was a Blood Oath committed here in the bot lane. But Faker was not able to land that. And that's also going to be the Revitalize. But over here, it looks like Disciple actually stepping into the turret. I'm not sure if that was a network problem, but I'm not seeing any. Yeah, looks like he's AFK right now. Okay, no, he's moving. I'm not seeing any pause requests. No pause request. And looks like this would be an easy first turtle for the side of NCZ. Wow, user will be invading that jungle. Looks like he might not be able to make it in time. Faker is here. He gets in with that blood. Oh, but that's gonna be the ultimate coming onto Zenkai. While Matilda will use the guiding wind to get user out of there. Right now it's NCC that is pulling that engage here. The minimum stop plus the minimum rage that is gonna be used, and it's Zenkai to secure that kill onto Disciple. User able to pull Faker into that turret, but the burst fireball from Zenkai will secure that kill. And over here in the top lane, looks like Oasiss is actually laning pretty well against Lord Itami. I'm hoping that this early death from Disciple was not a network problem, because I'm not seeing any pause requests. Yeah, we can just see Oasiss brazenly standing in front of the tower, and it looks like this might be no. There's gonna be that pushback from Zenkai and the burst fireball, but Michael will get out of there with that guiding wind. Over here, it looks like old Hadron will be able to get out of there securely. But that's the Sky Piercer just picked up for Michael. It's like the Lord next turtle will be spawning in 6, and Super C might be cut out here, but that's gonna be the minimum stomp by Zen. Oh, the AOG does land onto Hadron. He goes in with that Inferno Pursuit, but Super C is still staying alive with the Steel Bones, and that's gonna be the minimum rage committed onto the backline, and Hadron will fall while Disciple will get Michael out of there with that Guiding Wind. Right now, User is gonna try and contest this torso. He still has his ultimate, but looks like no, they're just gonna clear that bot lane, and this will be another torso going to the side of the no cancer zone. He was able to use that retreat and secure that XP crab. Right now, Hadron not having the best of games on that 0-2-0. But you can see that the carries of Oasiss have not died yet. So there is some hope. Just as I said, that there's going to be some pressure put onto this top lane Disciple. Oasiss having to flicker out of there. I'm not sure if I didn't see that correctly, but did he just use his S2 forward, then flicker out? Looks like it's gonna be User that secures that Lito. But over here in the top lane, Michael coming in and Lodi Tammy securing that kill onto Oasiss. It's like Faker. Oh, over here in that bottom lane, looks like there's going to be a clash between Super C and User. He manages to use that Revitalize to stay alive, but his AOG gets interrupted by Hadron, and that Super C going to fall.
Blue team turret has been destroyed.
We have the turtle spawning in 15 seconds. Looks like they are invading that jungle here. Faker does not go in with the Blood Oath. There was a bit of Disciple able to weave out of that fight. Looks like this is gonna be the minimum rage that committed here, and Faker will secure that Blood Oath plus the AOG in the backline to catch our User, and he will be the first to fall. Hadron happens to flicker out of the air. Disciple gets out with the Guiding Wind. Oh, but that Super C landing on that taunt, and it was the circling eagle that Disciple used to get out. But over here in the mid lane, Lolitami able to secure that mid lane tower and get out with the Guiding Wind, but Zenkai uses that flicker, but to no avail. It looks like Hadron will secure this kill. No, Oasiss will bust him down before he can get that kill. And over here, Michael just taking that damage from Faker here. That's the Blood Oath committed onto the backline, and it's User to be struck by that, but they have Disciple and that Guiding Wind to get out of that fight. Right now we can just see NCC just really playing their cards right with that fight. Currently at a 3k gold lead. Even though they lost that mid lane tower, they were able to get it back. And I think that's all 3 turtles going to the side of NCC here. User just doing his best to try and get any farm he can across the map, even if it's the enemy jungler's buff, just to try and keep that level gap the same. Right now, those guiding winds coming in from Disciple are really just keeping his team alive and allowing them to disengage here. But over here, Loditami gets hit by that minimum stomp. And that's the circling eagle, but he will use that to disengage. Over here in the bot lane, Super C and user, but that user will be going to that also fight as Super C is clearing out those lanes. Looks like Faker will be going for this Lord, and it's Faker to secure it while user is caught by that Blood Ode. Does not land onto anyone, but over here he gets into that backline without Blood or Bloody Tommy trying his best with those basic attacks, but that damage is not enough. Disciple able to provide some shield, but Hadrian will be cut off here. Looks like he can flicker out, but that guiding wind will help Hadrian survive that fight. Looks like that's the Lord. Will be marching down to that mid lane tower. They still haven't got that bot lane tower yet. And it looks like OG is again engaging with that skill too. Yeah, for my clean players out there, please don't engage with your skill too. That's your only escape skill. But looks like that would be. Oh, the AOG onto that backline, but a flicker plus that ultimate to escape it. Two ultimates bond there, and none will land.
Red team turret has been destroyed.
Looking over here now, Zenka with that boss fireball, and Disciple
Spree.
just walked into. Okay, I'm not seeing any pause requests, but I can clearly see that that was a case of lag. So I would grant a pause for Oasis here. This is the referee's discretion that I just applied, but all right. We are getting back into it, and hopefully I've been sorry, but over here in that bot lane, Zen will be caught by that. But looks like the Holy Shield will clear those minion waves out. Currently, NCC is in control of this match. Looking at the items now, Lord Itami on his third item, actually having 0 deaths in this game. So there is still a chance for a comeback, but if we're checking that gold lead, it is a 5k gold lead in favor of NCC. But over here, it is user that will be securing that red buff. and actually keeping that level the same as Faker here. The Lord is spawning in 30 seconds. They are down to their inhibitor towers. And it's gonna be up to this next Lord for how the next few minutes of this game will pan out. But over here, it looks like they will be collapsing onto Super CEO, and Zenkai has spotted that out as he comes in their defense. But Faker getting in with that Blood Orb. Looks like they will not be committing to that fight as the Lord has spawned and NCC will be starting on it.
Blue team turret has been destroyed. Blue team turret has been destroyed.
Looks like this would be a non-contested Lord going to the side of NCC, but over here Disciple engaging with that circling eagle, but he will disengage, and User as well. The Lord has spawned and he will be going in that mid lane. Currently Super C is in that top lane to cut those minions out. So that looks like they were gonna be sinking those waves to crash into and siege the base of Oasiss here. Now Zenkai starting off with those burst fireballs, but the Lord has entered it in tower range. Looks like that's going to be the minimum range plus the flicker. The AOG does not land, but over here in the back line, the Blood Ode does miss as well. But it is Disciple to pop that immortality is used, but User plus that combo with Hajun in the backline onto 2, and looks like Super C is the next to fall. Zen is next. Lord Itami gets pushed back by Zenkai, but Faker might not be able to survive. He drops to that damage coming in from Michael. And Oasiss will be trying to get this tower, but over here in the backline, that's the flicker plus the second in the eagle, and Zenkai is next to fall. OG spawning in 7 seconds. The minion waves have spawned, but him and Super C, would they be enough to defend this? They're sieging the base, and Oasiss have taken game 1.
Victory!
That was an outcome that nobody expected. And Lord Itami with that deathless game and the MVP. I have 0 words. Let's move on to the next game. Looks like there will be some subs happening for the side of Oasis. Hadrian has gone offline. Okay. So for the lobby brands, we have Sicilian, Xborg, Carry, and Joy. Okay, let's get this show on the road. That was a completely unexpected turn in that game one, and I'm hoping for something a lot more exciting in this game too. And right off the bat, we can see them banning out that Gato for Super Sui. So right now they're just really targeting the heroes that we saw in that previous game, and NCC pull out that Hilda ban again. Looks
Valor
like
and
that Leo
royalty
mod
in a
ban.
dead
Is
body.
banning.
I am a daughter of
And that
Morganvale.
Freya is
I
banned
swear
out.
to protect it till my last breath.
Over for the first pick here.
Pain.
Looks like that's a Brody pick. I'm not really sure if that was an AFK pick here.
See value in
But
me.
Faker will be locking that
should.
Fredrin. I think it's the first time we've seen Faker on that Fredrin in this season. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But Super C locking in that Terrizler here. He's going to be swapping out that AOG for the penalty zone. But we have two picks here for the side of Oasis. That Brody coming in first pick is pretty unusual, but they be going for that Zushin again in this match. Oh, looks like they will be going for that Sora and that Loi pick. And OG is here, taking a page from the book of Oasis in our last game, unlocking that Obsidia.
Test. Alpha is
The Alpha
online.
will be banned out from the side of NCZ.
Your team is
And Minotaur will be that last ban. So right now, this draft is kind of looking very CC intensive.
team is picking.
There is a lot of CC coming in here from the side of Oasis with that Sora as well as the Loi with the Yin Yang reaction. And Lord Itami does have that skill too from Brody to stun. But over here, the last two picks, I do know that Michael showed that Hayabusa earlier, but then this is going to be a Link and Disciple on that Camilla as well.
Still water.
And looks like they will be locking in those heroes.
Team is picking.
I'm guessing this is the second Link game we're seeing in this season.
Only love and night are everlasting.
And that Sicilian, that was banned out in the lobby. That Sicilian was banned. But I'm guessing that was a second AFK pick.
Mobile
Was
Legends. Do you mean it? 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield.
like with Lolly
Smash them.
Tommy here.
All troops deployed.
Okay, that looks like a restart request. Yeah, I'm guessing that pick was also AFK.
Victory!
I had to go back and watch the stream to confirm, and that was indeed an AFK pick. Yep, as I've checked Zenkai's favorite heroes, and that Sicilian is his most played. Okay, looks like NCC will be forfeiting this round, and the win will go to Oasis. I guess we'll be closing this out with a random skin animation, and then we will see you next time on the Gauntlet stage.